and welcome back. If this is your first time, I hope you will stay. Espero que te quedes. Right guys, I've been putting off this video for so long because really I don't like talking about COVID-19. Since this has all begun, I think I've only talked about it on one occasion on video, and that was with my friend Fran, who was a nurse, and so he was right in the midst of it, and so I thought it would have been a good opportunity to get some facts out because it was so new. But it's not something I like to talk about. But since I'm not thinking about myself, I'm thinking about you, and I'm thinking that exams are here and you will need to be prepared in the event that you are asked a question about this, because this is our reality, unfortunately. And so I'd like to equip you with the vocabulary to help you to talk about this topic. It is a topic, it exists. So why not talk about it? Why not teach you the appropriate vocabulary? Okay, so as usual, I've divided the board into verbs, nouns, adjectives, and expressions, and I'm just going to go over each section with you, okay? Right, I'm going to start with los sustantivos, which are your nouns, and grab yourself a pen, grab yourself some paper, or if you want to do it with your computer, fantastic, okay? La pandemia. Estamos viviendo en una pandemia, okay? It's a pandemic that we're living, okay? Pandemic. Okay? Virus is the same, the virus is the same, just different accent, virus. I'm sure you've seen fiebre in your topic about health. Tengo una fiebre, tengo mucha fiebre, fever. Which, in this case, sabemos que una de las síntomas del coronavirus es que hay una temperatura muy alta. La gente suele tener fiebre, ¿ok? So, fever. La mascarilla. La mascarilla, no podemos salir a la calle sin la mascarilla. We can't go out without our masks. So, mask. Okay? This is a good one. Trabajadores esenciales. There's a lot to be said on that, especially if you're giving your opinions about the people who really made a difference when things got really hard. Okay? Los trabajadores esenciales. So these are our key workers. Okay? Our key workers. You see, our key workers. Los trabajadores esenciales han sido maravillosos, okay? They've been marvelous, our key workers. This is a good one for you to jot down. Rastreo de contactos. Test and trace. Es muy importante porque si yo, por ejemplo, me he infectado, para evitar que más gente se infecte, hay que hacer esto, un rastreo, okay? So you have to test and trace, so we know who have been in contact with, so they might also be confined. Right. Brote. This is probably a new one for lots of us. Outbreak. Afortunadamente, esta semana no hemos visto ningún brote. So fortunately, this week we have not had any outbreak. Okay? Confinamiento, confinement, lockdown. Okay? Next one we have portador. El portador es la persona que tiene el virus, que está malo, okay? The person who is the carrier, in English we say the carrier, you're carrying the disease, you have the disease, you've been infected by the disease, eres el portador, okay? You're the carrier. nueva realidad. You're going to hear this term a lot because unfortunately our lives have been turned upside down, and this is our new reality. There's nothing we can do about it but try and adjust to what we've been given. Esta es nuestra nueva realidad, our new reality. Es difícil, pero tenemos que aguantar. Okay? It's difficult, but we have to try to get through it. Okay? Right. Now, actually, let me stay over here. I'm going to go through the adjectives. Something very interesting happened when I was looking at the adjectives, and I just thought it was so sad because it was all negative. This is not a happy situation, so it's really hard to be optimistic when you're talking about it. So some of these you would have already seen in other topics, but let's go over them anyway. Inquieto. Mis hijos han estado muy inquietos con toda esta situación. So my children have just really been restless. So restless, inquieto, restless. You have no peace of mind. You're restless. Inquieto, inquieto, inquieto. I've forgotten the e there. Inquieto. Okay. This one you know. Nervioso, nervous. Triste. Es una situación muy triste. It's a sad situation. Hemos estado asustados todos. Okay? We've all been frightened. Okay? Frightened, scared. Or scared. Yeah? I think perhaps the next one is the biggest one, especially when I look at myself and think, how have I been feeling? When we were first allowed to go back out, I definitely felt this. Desconfiado, okay? Just means that you feel distrust. You're a bit suspicious of people. I remember going into the center and somebody just coughed. And I was like, you know, because you were sort of suspicious. Are they ill? Or is it just a normal cough? So we found that we were mistrustful, we were distrustful, we were suspicious of everyone. Everywhere, especially if they weren't from your immediate family. Okay? So, suspicious, or what did I say? Yeah, suspicious, or what did I say? What was the other one? Or desconfiado? Yeah, distrustful. Distrustful. Distrustful of the people around you. I think this is a good one. Suspicious or distrustful? Tranquilo, calm. Okay. Mis padres les veo muy tranquilos. Okay. Mis padres han estado muy tranquilos. My parents have been really calm. Now, I sort of got to 5 and I thought, they're all so negative. Put some positive ones. We need positivity. You know, it doesn't matter how bleak life might seem. We have to try and remain positive, otherwise what's the point? You know, we can't just give up and give in. We cannot. We have to keep fighting to get through this. So positivo. Hay que mantenerse positivo. We have to keep positive. Okay, positive. This one you might have seen. Optimista. Okay, so una persona optimista. I'm optimist. I'm optimistic. Optimistic. Nothing fits. Okay? And next, orgulloso. Orgulloso. This is a G. It looks like an S, but it's not. Orgulloso. Proud. Estoy muy orgullosa de vosotros. I am very proud of you guys. Estoy muy orgullosa. I'm going to change it depending on who you're talking about. Productivo. You know this one. Okay, it's the same. E instead of O. Okay, productive. Okay, productive. Nothing fits. Okay, este año ha sido un año productivo. Okay, this year has been a very productive year. Right, let's go over to our expressions. actually, it's very difficult to cover. I don't know if you can see from here. Perhaps here would be better. So your expressions. Estar pachucho. Estar pachucho means that you're unwell. Okay, you don't feel so great. Me siento pachucha. Estoy pachocho. Okay, I'm ill. A bit under the weather. Under the weather. Okay? Maybe I should use a different colour pen so you can see better. Okay, right. En el confinamiento me puse en forma. Ponerse en forma is to get fit. Ponerse en forma. Get fit. Absolutely. Not just in a pandemic, but always. It's good to get fit. Ponerse en forma. Next one. Tener una salud de hierro. Hierro means iron. Okay? So, to have a health of iron. I love the way that sounds. And it just means that you're in perfect health. You rarely get ill. Okay? So, perfect health. You rarely get ill. Rarely get ill. So if you rarely get ill, this is perhaps a way to talk about yourself, okay? Tengo una salud de hierro. My daughter is actually like this. She doesn't often get ill. Mi hija tiene una salud de hierro. Toca madera. Touch wood. That remains the same. That remains that way always. Okay. I was having a little debate with myself about this one. Ver las estrellas. You can see what it means. It's to see the stars. Now, I was asking in my WhatsApp group if anyone had a better expression. No one's given me a better expression because, you know, we say to see stars, to see the stars, but that's, I think, when perhaps you hit your head. You know, in the cartoons, you normally see stars going around somebody's head if they've fallen and hit their head or something like that. But in Spanish, it just means intense pain. Okay, ver las estrellas. It doesn't have to be your head. Maybe you're running and you hit your toe really hard against the corner of the table and veo las estrellas. Vi las estrellas. I saw the stars, meaning it hurt so much I could hardly contain myself. A tear fell. Okay, so intense pain. Okay, pain caused by you hurting a part of your body or somebody hitting you somewhere. Intense pain. Okay. Yeah, maybe you have an infection, a stomach infection, and the pain was so intense that you would say, ayer estaba viendo las estrellas cuando me llamaste. Okay? I was in such intense pain when you called me yesterday. Right. And the next one is calentarse la cabeza. Calentarse la cabeza is when you keep thinking about something over and over again. It almost becomes an obsession. Okay? You're fretting, you're worrying about something. Okay? Yeah, fret over something, to obsess about it, constantly thinking about it. Okay? No voy a calentarme la cabeza sobre el examen. Okay? I'm not going to fret over the exam. What will be, que será, será. Okay, right. So, right, let's jump over to our verbs. Can you see our verbs? The first one, vacunar, which is to vaccinate. To vaccinate. You have to get our vaccines done. To vaccinate. Estornudar. Achoo! Estornudar. When you see people sneezing nowadays we run, don't we, to sneeze. Estornudar. Okay? It's a mouthful. I think estornudar is a mouthful in Spanish. This one, you already seen. Desinfectar. Desinfectar. To disinfect. There's another word. Disinfect. There's another word as well. What's the synonym of disinfect? To sanitize as well. We could say to sanitize. Sanitize. Okay, that's an S by the way, people. To sanitize. And the next one I've got for you is propagar, which is to spread. Spread. Esta enfermedad se propaga con mucha facilidad. So this disease spreads really easily. It's also a noun, la propagación, the spread as well. Okay, so you can use it for both a noun and a verb. Toser is to cough. You would have already seen that. Contagiar. No me quiero contagiar. To infect. I love this. Aplanar la curva. You probably would have seen this one. And it just means to flatten the curve. Flatten the curve. I am sure when things were at its highest point, we saw, March, things really took off in March, April. So here we have como un pico, okay? And when we talk about to flatten the curve, what we want is to see this sort of go down to a manageable level where the hospitals are not so overwhelmed, where people can be treated. And so this is why it was so important to flatten the curve. Aplanar la curva, porque cuando vemos así un pico, when we see that we have such a massive concentration of people getting ill, the main point of the quarantine was to flatten the curve so we could deal with the situation. With so many people getting infected, at one point the situation was unbearable. We could not cope. So all we were talking about for a while was ¿cómo hacemos para aplanar la curva? ¿Okay? Y el confinamiento fue la solución. Okay? We had to stay by ourselves to not propagar la enfermedad. Okay? Right. Prevenir, to prevent. Tenemos que prevenir más infecciones. Prevent. We have to prevent any more infections. Afectar, to affect, it's the same. Esto nos afecta a todos. Esto nos afecta a todos. Nos afecta a todos. This affects us all. And the last one, which I'm sure you already know, but I just wanted to put it on anyways. Because that's what we've been saying day in, day out. Every single day we've been saying this. Hay que lavarse las manos. Durante un minuto, okay? We have to wash our hands for at least a minute. So, lavarse las manos, which is to wash our hands. Wash our hands. Okay? To wash our hands. Now, it's not the most scintillating lesson in the world, but it had to be done. So if you have to talk about Covid-19, I hope that you'll have enough information from this video to be able to do that quite calmly and quite well. Okay? Have a little revision afterwards, and I wish you all the luck with your exams. Fingers crossed, you can do it. You were made to do this. You're amazing. Until next time, take care.